Hello and welcome to the Lendini podcast, coming to you live from Lendini Studios. This is the love episode. In light of Valentine's Day coming up, we are not wearing red supporting the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not happening.
Absolutely not.
We're Eagles fans here, except Brooke.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think
this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend. Only.
Wait, can I record that?
Yes, this weekend it is Go Birds.
No, I have receipts. I have screenshots of the conversations I've had with Brooke, and she is an Eagles fan now. I know the last podcast we had, she was like, "Oh yeah, we play the Eagles this weekend, and we're gonna win and that stuff." But I don't think she even follows the Steelers anymore because their entire fan base is done with their organization.
Anyway,
sorry to anyone from Pittsburgh.
My people.
Wait, are you from Pittsburgh?
Not me.
She's not even from
You're
there.
from New Jersey.
I'm from New Jersey.
I was going to say we've got a bunch of Jersey girls up here.
My
Well,
people, she
originally,
says.
Yes.
except for Erin.
Yeah. Can't hear the accent.
Apparently, I have a Delco accent. I don't know.
Go Birds.
Well, back to business.
I don't sound like that.
Back to business. We will. I promise that we will cycle back to the Eagles at some point in time. I had to make that promise to Erin. She needs a couple of minutes to be able to talk about the Eagles and talk about the upcoming Super Bowl. So for those of you that are not Eagles fans and supporting the Kansas City Chiefs, you can stay online for a while. Now, I'll give you a forewarning too before we move back. But why don't we do a quick 2024 recap just of what happens with the blue team?
All right, well, I'll kick this off. So, 2024, I mean, I thought it was a great year, but I feel like there's always room for improvement, and I like that going into the new year and with New Year's Eve, I feel like there's also a lot of room to sit and just reflect, and not only for our company, but just as individuals, and I think that carries on into the company as well. But I'm definitely looking forward to 2025. January was a weird month, but ended up being a strong month, so we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a really good year for hitting goals for as a team, Lendini, and us as individuals. And I think 2025 is going to be even better. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And Erin, you had a recent change coming up for 2025 for your assistant. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so as you guys all know, we were together with Hector, but as of this month, we made a change, and now George is my new assistant. So we try to, with the assistants and juniors, we try to just kind of shake them up just to get a feel for the different teams and who works best with who, but based on personality. And but yeah, I think Hector was great. All the ISO,
and he's with Lori now. He's still with the blue team.
So they've had a great month as well. So yeah, it's just all around. It's all blue team. So still the same people, same faces, but just a little mix up.
Carly, why don't you tell us about the ISOs in 2024, because you're in charge of engaging all of the ISOs right from the very beginning of the process. And I think, if I recall, we had a banner year for new ISO setups. So why don't you talk about that and what you're also expecting walking into 2025?
Excellent. 2024, it was a very busy year setting up new ISOs. A lot of new faces, but a lot of older faces. It was a nice year of seeing some guys break off on their own and open up their own shops, and that's what America's all about. Having the opportunity to open up your own business and to compete. So I do foresee that happening a lot. Actually, I'm seeing it a lot this year, 2025. With ISOs setting up this year, a lot of you are already set up, but you have changes. You have changes to bank accounts. You have changes to rebranding your DBAs, or you're just going to completely overhaul and change everything moving forward into 2025, reach out to your account manager or reach out to me. We'll get everything the way that it needs to be set up so that there are no delays with your commissions. So reach out. We're really excited to grow with you, and we are ready to get your deals funded. So reach out and get it done now.
Thank you, Carly. And we have another update here. I don't know if anyone noticed the giant sparkler that's on Erin's hands, but we have a shout out to Dwayne.
Shout out Dwayne. Hey, babe.
So we wanted to wish one of our favorite account managers congratulations.
Oh, thank you guys.
So we actually have a studio audience here that's watching us, and they're trying so hard to be quiet as they walk in and outdoors and walk right now. So if you hear some additional clapping. So I've got a list of topics here right now. So why don't we just kind of jump around? We've got Miami coming up in the next couple of weeks. Super excited. I know we just have a small team going this year. So Carly and Brooke are going to be joining me there, as well as Andy Padilla, who's not here right now because he's in Florida already. So Carly, why don't you tell us too what you're looking forward to in Miami?
Miami is such a great event that the deBanked team hosts. It's really great just to meet all of our ISOs that we're currently doing business with. We can see what we can get done there, how we can improve as a funding partner. It's just a really great time, even to hear what's new in the industry from friendly competitors as well. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone and just enjoying the time together.
Brooke, what about you?
Yeah, this is actually my first Miami broker fair.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like the New York one is, I don't know, I may be wrong, but I feel like that's the most, like the busiest one, but I think the Miami one is the favorite. From what I've heard from ISOs, like, hey, which one's your favorite? Which one do you go to? I would say the vast majority of them love the Miami
I'm going to
one.
stop you for
Yeah.
just a second, and quick shout out to Sean Murray and team.
Yes.
But I heard that either Sean or someone on the team had mentioned that this is looking to be the biggest Miami event yet.
Wow, say okay, and we will be there. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be good to see familiar faces. I know some of my brokers that I haven't seen in person yet will be there, so I'm excited to meet them in person as well. And yeah, can't wait.
Yep. And we're flying in a day early.
Yes.
So please stop by if you're going to be there. Make sure to reach out to Carly, Brooke, Andy, or myself, and we can have a chat with you. We can talk about performance. We could talk about doing business if we did business in the past, or we could just catch up. Yeah. Right? And have fun, enjoy ourselves as well too. I mean, that's part of what it's all about too, for us to get together in the industry, spend time with each other, and get friendly as well too, because we want you to be able to trust us. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do this. It's for transparency, so you know who we are, and you feel comfortable doing business with us. So by all means, please don't hesitate to stop by and chat with us, or to reach out as well. And going into performance. So one of the things that we do here at Lendini that I think that makes us unique is that we do performance reviews with a lot of our top shops. And Brooke, Erin, you guys have both participated in those. So why don't you talk to me and tell me a little bit just about the performance reviews that you have done?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love the performance reviews. I feel like it's just a little more personal as well. So we do it on Google Meet. So it's face to face, because a lot of the time, we're over the phone. So just having that interaction like that is also just special with building relationships. But let's just say, we get on the Google Meet and we'll share a screen. We pull up a report that we actually also send you. It's a PDF, so we send you it for your records as well. But this report has been awesome. It breaks down everything when it comes to industries, all specific to your account, how they perform. Like if I click a certain number, like it'll show like why maybe it's in the red, like that specific industry, if certain deals defaulted. It shows by position. Um, let's see, drawing a blank here.
Well, why don't we pass it over to Brooke?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, just to go on with what Erin was saying, I think the coolest part is she touched on a little bit how it breaks down the specific reason that maybe a file would go bad. So if we take a specific broker shop and we open it up and we see this is their overall performance, and then it breaks down by month. And then we can go into each individual month and see the reason that it's either good or bad. So for example, say we open up December, and there were 7 deals funded in December and 6 of them went bad. Then we can go in there and see if there's any patterns or familiarities or anything like that that kind of sticks out to us. So then I can go to the broker and say, hey, 6 of these deals were restaurants. They all went bad. I don't know where you're getting your leads for restaurants, but maybe that's something that you could look into on your end.
That's a very key and important thing when we're breaking things down by industry and looking at them, that I think it's very important for the ISOs to be able to look at that and dial that back and say, hey, this is working for me or this isn't working for me.
Yeah, it's just nice insight. Like it's just everything's in front of you, and we organize it for you. So then we can have a conversation together and say, hey, instead of those restaurants, why don't you try and send me, I don't know, some retail industries, because those are actually performing well, and kind of just stuff like that.
Not all industries perform the same for every shop.
Yeah.
It's not a one size fits all.
Yep.
It's one of the reasons why we dig in and we like to do these reviews. We also think that it's important for you as an ISO, because we know that your leads are expensive and we know that you're putting a lot of money into them, and that obviously the point is to renew your merchant. But if something's not performing, we want to tell you, we want to give you a heads up. We want you to have an idea up front of what's working and what's not working. Additionally, you can check the performance of your deals. Just a side note here, that you can log into your ISO portal at any time and check to see the status of deals that you have funded. Most of you have access to it unless you set up and haven't submitted in quite some time. But if you aren't actively submitting ISO, then you have a portal. Please feel free to reach out and you can double check. If not, you can log into it, and if not, we'll set one up for you.
Yeah. The other, just I don't think we touched on this, but the other important part of that performance data that we pay a lot of attention to is the conversion rate. So that's something super important to us as a company, is how many of the files that we're giving you offers on you're converting to funded. So you can see all that information on there, divided up by month, and you can kind of monitor it, and we'll monitor it for you. And that's just something important that you can kind of see where you're at, because I'm sure it's hard to tell without seeing in front of you.
And speaking of conversion, Carly, why don't you speak to conversion itself too, and give us a little bit more information about what specifically we're looking for at Lendini.
Okay, as far as conversion, when we're looking at your performance reviews, we look at the offers to funded. We really want you to convert at least 20%. So I always say close 2 out of 10 deals, that we give you an offer on as a minimum. If you need help, we're here to help you. We can close them for you if you need us to. We'll do what you need to assist you. Our ISO managers are top notch. They'll do whatever they need to do to get it done for you. Another thing, too, that I just wanted to touch on about the performance reviews, it's also used as a tool for you to take a look and see what's really performing well and doing well. It might be you have one team or an account manager that is really great at selling a specific industry. So just keep that in mind too, that these performance reviews are a fantastic tool to know how to direct some of your traffic within your own team.
Yeah, we tend to find that our ISOs that perform the highest are typically out there seeking their performance information or their conversion information, and they're very tied into it and very concerned about it. They also typically, from what we have found, dialing back into our information, we have found that they are typically supplying more information than the average ISO, and that will most likely secure a stronger offer. So it's one of the things that we would like to talk about. It's a question that comes up regularly, especially among younger shops and ISOs that are new to the industry that may be confused as to why one ISO may have received a specific offer from Lendini or Quick Fix Capital and another received a different dollar amount on there too. So Brooke, why don't you speak to that as well too, how that can happen? And something that I just want to make note of right off the bat, that for security purposes as well too, that we have all of our data siloed by teams. And what that means is that we have 3 teams. We've got the blue team, the orange team, and the purple team. That the purple team can't see what the orange team's doing, and vice versa. And the same goes for any of the other teams. So there are different underwriters per team based on the dollar amount and the size of the deal. But the offers themselves can change and can vary based on the information that's supplied. And we do not give one ISO credit for the data that another ISO supplies. We don't do that. So Brooke, why don't you speak to that for like, what's your experience with that?
Yeah, so we see it a lot and a lot lately. The information and the data that's on the app that you submit to us is extremely important in the sense of that's what our model reads. That's what we read during underwriting. So if I have 2 different brokers submit an app for the same business and one of the apps says A, B, and C, and then the other app has completely different information, it's going to get processed completely differently. So I had a situation a few weeks ago, and it was that exact scenario where the second broker submitted an app with completely different and incorrect information to the original app, and they got a denial for it. And they didn't understand why the other broker was able to get an offer. And I explained to him that information on the app wasn't correct. And it was also completely different information that we received. So that information is so important. And our model reads every single part of it, the phone number, the address, the social security number, everything that's listed on the entity type. So making sure that the app has the correct and, the correct information and all the information
Needs to be accurate.
Yes, is so important when it comes to our underwriting system.
Let me speak to this as well too. That merchants that supply accurate information tend to remit better.
Yeah.
Right? I see everybody's head just kind of nodded. And I think that everybody that's on the other side of the camera would agree with us as well too, that the more accurate of information that you receive, the more likely it's going to be that it's going to be a successful file and be able to renew in the future.
Yes. And on top of that, it's a smoother funding process. Like we're not
By
jumping
far.
around. Yeah, we're not jumping around like, oh, we need this phone number. Oh, that's not the right one. There's 1 digit wrong. And oh, now we need clarification of the business address because this is sending us to a UPS office.
Mhm.
And it makes it a headache for everybody involved, and it takes so much longer. When we have the correct information and the merchants are ready to fund and everyone's on the same page, we're getting deals done like this. And that's how we all want to do it, right? Like,
Exactly.
But yeah.
Two examples of ownership. This one actually just came up yesterday, that I was speaking to one of our underwriters that was in the deep into the file, and as we pulled the background on it, we ended up finding out that the owner wasn't actually the owner.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And that there was someone else registered to the SOS, so that when we finally received clarification, we found out that that was the owner. Unfortunately, it resulted in a denial, right? It stops the process. Whereas if that information is received right up front, if you know that as an ISO, get the correct information up front, or please let us know. That information like that is critical and will help prevent a lot of 11th hour denials. Another one that came up today, just this morning, we received an application with the, it was the business inception within 12 months. And then when we check the Secretary of State, it's a longer period of time, right? So now that creates a flag for us where we're going to need to clarify, did something happen in that time period? Was there a change of ownership? Because what else would prompt someone to put an incorrect start of business where they're putting less time on
Right.
versus more? So again, red flag where we need to now stop and get clarity on what exactly is going on, because that would be indicative of an ownership change.
Yeah. Anything we ask for in those situations, like when we request background docs or clarification, it's because we need it. It's not like for fun, or it's because something isn't adding up on the back end and we need that in order to move the process along. So it's just important to make sure the information you have is correct, and then give us a heads up. Like Melissa said, if you know about something ahead of time, tell us as soon as you know or as soon as you can, and we can handle it right away to make the process go smoother.
Absolutely. Well, let's change topics here for a minute. And I want to speak to, before we get to Erin's favorite topic, okay, it's coming, I promise. Let's talk about some of the training that you go through as account managers, right? Now, we're not training every single day, but we do on a monthly basis, sometimes bi-monthly basis, get together as a team on Google Meets. We've gotten together on Zooms. We've gotten together in person, and we've done a range of different types of training. Erin, can you speak to first some of the different types of training that you went through, going like right back to the very beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the main one and the one that was most beneficial would be the role playing. So I was new, and everyone would get on a Google Meet or even in person. Like in person, it was like more intense. But like we would have like people that have been here for years and years, and they would, like, for example, like say if I was brand new and I was like cold calling an old account that hasn't been active in like 4 years, like they would pretend to be the ISO and I would have to be the new account manager, and like they would go through, like, if they were being difficult, like, oh, yeah, I don't submit to you guys anymore, like blah blah blah, whatever it could be. I'm not even going to give specifics, but like just having that experience going into it, like, made me confident handling any situation that would come my way, especially having the mindset like fake it till you make it.
I think that's great. Brooke, what about you? Because I remember I'm sorry. So Brooke and I may have had a bit of a difference of opinion on how to start training at the beginning. So before we get into like what we do now, why don't you talk about the beginning?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love to pick on you, but it's so much
I love
fun.
it. It's been a long journey, so it's there's a lot to talk about.
It's just fun. It's just fun.
I'm trying to think. So it's hard to think back. It's been so long now, but I would say that the most beneficial, and probably the things that I didn't realize were beneficial in the beginning, and now I look back and I was like, okay, yep. Communication styles, that was major. Like learning how to communicate with people, and everything doesn't have to be what's the word? Like, it doesn't have to be conflict. Like, and if it is a conflict, it doesn't have to be argumentative conversation. Like, you can talk through things in a calm manner. And I always think back to the book we read, like the late night DJ FM voice. We read a negotiation book, which was phenomenal. And it was all about negotiation techniques and sales techniques and how to communicate with people and how to talk through certain issues and conversations. And that was like the one probably that stood out a lot to me, was that book. And in the middle of reading it, it was like, oh my gosh, we have to read like another chapter. Like, oh my gosh. But it was by far, like, I still to this day, that was how many years ago, and I still use things that I learned from that book. So
what I'm hearing is that you still use things that you learned from that book.
Yeah. She's like, for the record. At first, I didn't like.
I
the
was
book.
also using another tactic on Brooke right there too, but she,
Oh yes,
my favorite.
that is great. There, if you haven't read it,
Erin.
what is the name of it?
How to negotiate as if your life depended on it.
Yeah, there's some really good information. In
Chris
there.
Voss.
Yes, he was awesome. So, yeah, that one stands out
I
a
think
lot.
I'm
to
missing
me.
part of the title, but either way, it's
It's
fantastic.
a yellow book.
How to
Yeah.
split the difference?
How to split the
right?
difference?
How to split the difference.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
But yes, great book. If you haven't read it and you're in this industry, highly recommend it. And in the beginning, you might be like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know what he's. I mean, that was me. But I gave it a chance and I kept going, and now I use probably almost all the techniques at some point in our
Well,
conversation.
Just a little bit of background about him. I believe he was a Kansas City beat cop and then became head of FBI hostage negotiations.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
he had a very open path as well too. And I'm sorry if you guys are hearing ringing. I'm not sure if this is ringing through my phone right now or if it's Erin's laptop.
Got some busy ladies over
Yeah,
here.
sorry about that. But that just means that we're missing your call. We really apologize, whoever you are. She's gonna call you back as soon as we're done. But Carly as well. Why don't you speak to some of the trainings as well too? Because you actually took notes through a lot of the different trainings, and you've seen it all. You've seen it all. So give us a quick roundup.
All right. So, what we wanted our team to experience was how to build rapport with all of you from the beginning. It sounds so simple, but not everybody knows how to do that. How to communicate, how to overcome objection. We know not all of you, but some of you really like to give the newbies a difficult time, because if they can get through a difficult conversation with you, it's kind of like they've just earned a badge. So we give it to them just as difficult as you could possibly give it to them. So they understand they can face their fears. They have an experience with it. They didn't die. It wasn't the worst thing that they ever had to deal with. And they're prepared. We want to prepare them for difficult situations, difficult conversations, on sometimes how to stand their ground and sometimes learning how to speak to people the way that they need to be spoken to. We also were able to identify in the trainings where people needed to gain a little bit more confidence, and where we needed to work with a few of our ISO managers a little bit more. So it was very beneficial, and we still do that. We like to bring the juniors in and train them. We like to do refreshers. It's actually fun now for everyone that experienced it. In the beginning, it was torture, but now it's fun.
Yes, I had like anxiety going into it. So yeah, but being put in those situations, especially like when it would be like a random like Tuesday at 12 o'clock, and Melissa's like, all right, hop on Google Meet. I'm like, I need to like mentally prepare myself for this and like get my notes ready. But like just being thrown into situations has really jump started my career here.
Yeah. So, hey, any of you guys that want to join us on one of these trainings and give our newbies a hard time,
Yeah.
maybe we'll let you join. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Trial by fire.
Trial by fire.
Not everyone likes it. It is the best way to learn. Dive right in.
I agree too. Yeah.
Erin.
Melissa.
Before we segue to the Eagles, I feel like we should do a quick fit check.
All right,
Since
well-
we're still in our red.
If we're doing
And
a
we
fit check,
just need to make sure that this is not, again, if you came in like later in this video, this is not for the Kansas City
Yes.
Chiefs. By no means are we supporting them. I love Patrick Mahomes. He's fantastic.
Oh no.
But we have the better.
no. Whoa,
Listen,
what are we doing
we're
here?
20 minutes outside of Philadelphia.
Hmm.
We have and have always had the better Kelsey brother.
I agree.
That's true.
I definitely agree.
All right.
Fit check.
All right, well, you guys start that because I'm not doing a fit check in red for Super Bowl week. So I'll be right back. Here you go, babe.
Okay. So my turn. Okay.
I don't know where she's going. Hopefully to mute her computer.
The upper part of this, I am not positive, but my jeans are Levi's. My shoes are Steve Madden. This is probably Amazon or something. I don't remember what the blazer is from, but that's about it today. How about you, Melissa?
Carly. Oh, okay. Legence Express AG Jimmy Choo from the Real Real. I love the Real Real.
All
Carly.
right. J. Crew and AG. All the way.
There we go, representing.
Woo.
I love J. Crew. I don't know exactly what Erin's doing right now. She's taking a bit of time. Not exactly sure why she's taking so long here, but okay. So until the Eagles super fan comes back, Brooke, what are you doing for the Super Bowl?
I don't know. It gets really crazy around here for football in general.
Did you see the guy that died falling off the
Yes,
pole?
horrible.
Please don't climb the poles in Philadelphia. Please just don't do it.
It becomes absolute chaos, like everywhere in the streets. I'm sure you all see the videos, even if you're not around here. But so I'm thinking like either watch it at home, go to someone's house and watch it. I'm not going out. That just seems like a lot. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Here
Okay.
she is.
Okay. Well, on that note,
All right, so fit check. We got the Louis Vuitton sneakers, PacSun jeans, Calvin Klein black shirt, Mitchell and Ness old school vintage jacket. Wait, hold up. This is breaking news right now. We have Brooke Brown, the Steelers fan, wearing an Eagles hat.
Matches my blazer. It's too small on my big head.
T-shirt from like
I love that. So yeah, we're out here supporting. Go Birds.
It is it's definitely go Birds this weekend. Stop the three-peat.
No, I agree.
That's not happening.
We do not like Mahomes here. Melissa was just saying that to fuel the audience out. But I don't think one person from
How
our
about that scandal we're hearing about the refs?
Ooh.
well, everyone already knew that. But it's just crazy because it's coming from Tom Brady's mouth. But Tom Brady
He started taking the
Yes.
attention off himself.
But Tom Brady doesn't want that three-peat because that will put Mahomes over him, even though I just completely disagree with all of it. But there's just no way. Eagles by 13.
Ooh, lucky 13.
Oh,
What are you doing for the Super Bowl?
I'm going to my cousin's. She lives about an hour away, so hopefully seeing my brother and my baby niece. They live in like Scranton, which is like in the Poconos, so I don't really get to see them a lot, but hopefully I get to see her and put her in a little jersey, you know.
Can you attest to the craziness that happens in Philly?
Oh yeah. I mean, the last
Were
time
you out there for that?
absolutely
Were you out there
not.
for that madness?
Unfortunately, my fiance was sick, so we stayed in and we watched it on the couch. But
We were chatting. We were chatting.
Carly was texting me. Yeah, it was surprising. I was like, "You're watching this? No way!" But I did go down to Cotman, I think, a few years ago. But I don't know. It's cool to experience, though. It's just like I don't know. It's the energy is like electric.
I'm just throwing this out there, and I'm probably going to get shot down for this or be made to edit this out of this video. But I'm just saying that if they win and there's a parade, maybe we need to do like a podcast from the parade.
Oh.
Listen,
I know I'm going to get yelled at for that.
No, we can keep that in there. My request off was declined actually for the parade. So I probably,
that's what it was for. Oh, I didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know. There'll be a company message that goes out late Sunday night. We'll keep
Chaos in the streets in Philadelphia.
Yep.
No one can get to the Ben Salem office. Sorry.
That 10 o'clock meeting on Monday morning, Erin will
No,
not be
I'm
there.
not gonna have a voice.
I didn't even think
Win or
about that.
lose, I will not have a voice. I'll tell you that.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay, we're gonna have to do something about
What are you
that,
guys
plus-
doing for the Super Bowl?
I will be watching from home in my pajamas.
Sounds nice.
Eagles pajamas?
I don't have any, but we'll see.
We can change that.
Okay. Time to
That
get
you
some Eagles
must.
pajamas.
I will be at the gym.
Oh.
I will be at the gym earlier. I'll be at the NAC earlier for any of you that don't know what that is, the Newtown Athletic Club. It's fantastic. And then afterwards, I am planning to spend half of it with Izzy and Pickles.
Aw.
And the other half of it, I'm probably going to go down the street to my aunt's house and watch it with my dad, stepmom,
nice.
and
Aw.
my aunt, and probably some of her friends as well, too.
Very nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. I like family time.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And good food, a little bit of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Love
No
Super Bowl
champagne?
food.
Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna have to break that
when in
out.
Rome, it might be chilling in the fridge already.
What are you doing for the SB?
I was saying, I don't know. It's still up in the air. I want to be away from the chaos, so wherever that brings me, but I just really want some good food for sure. I don't know what. Oh,
Do you think can we just put like a public service announcement out here to all of the restaurants in Philadelphia? Could you please maybe create a gluten-free chicken cheesesteak?
Oh, that would be nice.
I mean, sorry, I know some people are going to think that's sacrilegious for me to say chicken, but for those of us that, I mean, you could interchange obviously the chicken and this steak. I don't eat steak, but I would love to have a gluten-free chicken cheesesteak.
That
And
sounds delicious.
what is it, Amoroso's? Who does the really famous rolls in Philadelphia?
There's a
Is it
bunch.
Amoroso?
Caches.
Please create a gluten-free roll. That would be fantastic.
Agreed.
Yeah, that would be great. Saquon,
Saquon.
thank you, Giants.
I'm gonna pass this one over
Thank you,
here.
New York Giants. That's all I have to say. He is amazing. He defies gravity. And Erin, so I believe you can speak to the stats. I am not good with sports stats at all, but why don't you speak to the record that he is going to break, right?
So yeah, in a season, the most rushing yards, including postseason, he's 31 yards away from. So right now he stands at 2,448 yards, if I'm correct, which is insane. Because you have like these like, I mean, if you know, you know, but like even like having 1,000 rushing yards in a season, like you're considered an elite running back. So like times that by 2.5, it's crazy. But I'm definitely taking the over on Saquon's rushing yards. So
I like it.
I'm also just going to put this out there that I think that Fox News, if you're looking for a sports correspondent, there's your girl.
I may have a podcast coming soon, but I don't know. We started it and it was great. The back and forth, like the energy, like it was just like I'd want to listen to that if I were me, like anyone else. But
You're where, I mean, I rely on you for all of my sporting statistics.
I know everyone says that. So yeah, I mean, I could be reaching an audience, especially like we have like the name was Girls Gone Sports, but we don't know how to like edit the videos. So like the conversation and everything's
Any
there.
ISO want to
Yeah.
help?
Yeah,
Please,
but the
reach out.
editing, we have a lot of content. Like, it's good content. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Brooke, anything else you want to chat about?
Oh,
Whoa!
They know I always have a lot to say. No, I think that's it. I'm excited. What is today? Tuesday? So we still have a couple days to go. Let's have a strong week so then everyone goes into Super Bowl weekend feeling good,
Absolutely.
happy, and once the Super Bowl's over, we will be back. And yeah, let's have a good month.
Carly, what about you?
All right, 2025. Get on the phone with your account managers, let them know what your goals are, and let us know what we can do to help you get there. Okay?
Agreed.
Erin?
2 words, baby.
I mean, I want to say 2 words, but I also want to scream. No, okay. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
If they weren't in a meeting next door, you best believe
She was.
We'd be going around this whole office screaming,
EAGLES Eagles.
All right. We will see you guys live in maybe a few weeks with our Super Bowl gear. And yeah, go Birds.
Thank you, everyone who listened to the entire podcast. And please share it around. And if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe.
Yes.
See you later.
See ya.